Hi, I'm the managing director and the founder principal of the Green School Bangalore, Whitefield. And it's a pleasure to be on this platform of DIDAC and IDA every year. And I must tell you that I've spent about 4 decades in this industry. So I've seen education being imparted in that era, and I say about 4 decades before, and education being imparted beyond like 20 years before and now. So there's a big paradigm shift in the K-12 education sector. And everybody talks about different kind of quotes, and they say that, education is just not the pail, to fill the pail, which has been quoted by, William Butler Yeats. And otherwise, they also say that education should be imparted for children the way the children look at it. It means we have to teach the way the child wants to learn, not the way we want to learn. But have you ever wondered that when you want to ignite a spark, the way W.B. Yeats has talked about, have we been igniting the spark that way? So that is the very big question and a food for thought. Because there has been a big shift in technology. There has been a big shift in the pedagogy and andragogy. But still, I feel like many of the classrooms are still traditional. So we have to really think about it. We talk about innovation in education. So what kind of innovation are we talking about? So when you talk about that 4C's, talk about creativity, we talk about, the way the 21st century education has to go on. But don't you think that the classroom settings has to change? So we don't think about that. We just think about one aspect of it, that innovation in pedagogy. So that's what actually I'm trying to highlight, that there are plenty of ways of, innovating in the classrooms and beyond the classrooms. But in spite of that, we see that there's not much change which has happened in the learning and the teaching methodology. And that's because that we want to make the change, but we're very comfortable with the traditional way of teaching. Remember pandemic times when we had this kind of the switch over to technology totally, and we totally lost. We said, how can we do this? Because we have not been used to this, because we've used technology as a tool. We're not used technology as the way on the medium of teaching. And that's where everybody was trying to find out, like, what are the various ways of we can use the apps and how we can make it more creative, innovative and stuff like that. But why are we not using it after pandemic? After pandemic, we again switched over to traditional classrooms. And that is the way that we are looking at education, imparting according to our comfort zones. Not that we want to make a change in our way of teaching and learning. Technology is there to stay. And if we don't adopt technology, the technology is going to adapt you. So I feel like the hybrid classrooms and the blended learning, what we were talking during the pandemic, it's still going to be there in the future. What are the future schools going to look at? I mean, looking at the aspect, like, how are they going to be, be there in the future? What kind of schooling is going to be there? It's going to be a very different way of schooling. It's not going to be this concrete, that 4 walls of schooling anymore. It's going to be more of cloud-based schooling, where people can access it anywhere, everywhere. It's going to be classroom beyond boundaries. So are we prepared for it? Are we prepared for such kind of teaching and learning, wherein we have a hybrid model and where we can teach the child anywhere across the world? But we still are figuring it out and saying how we can do this blended model in the classroom. And is it not going to disturb the classroom per se? But here we're talking about 3 stakeholders. One, we talk about students. One, we talk about teachers. And the other is parents. The parents are not ready to accept the progressive schools. The parents are not ready to accept alternate schools. I mean to say the majority of them. There are a few of them who say, okay, let me explore this way of teaching and learning for my child, where child is not stressed out. But majority of them, they feel like, my child has to do his sciences, my child has to do his math, and the child has to become an engineer or doctor. But I think that myth is slowly breaking, because the children are looking at different kind of career options. Again, a big question mark. And it's also kind of message to all the teachers and the educationists out there. Aren't we supposed to change our curriculum, and aren't we supposed to change our program, the way we are trying to impart in the classrooms? Because the kind of the curriculum, or we call as the portions, what we call in the classroom, there's no match to the careers which are available in the market. Suppose a child wants to become a designer. He wants to become a fashion designer, or the child wants to explore a different kind of a career aspect. That is not available in the classroom because they are just teaching your sciences and math and the typical kind of, chalk and talk method, and children are just given project based approach, max to max. The children are put up in that kind of environment where they're just learning these kind of subjects and there's no interaction, integration, which is happening in the class. And that is how the children are coming out. So are we teaching robotics or are we creating robots is my question. So if you're going to create robots and stereotype children, you're again going to opt for the engineering or the doctor, because that is what majority of them are appearing for. And that is what the entrance test they're appearing for. So, but I have also seen a drift in the kind of career aspect. Many of them want to become a designer. They want to actually work as a designer in many of those jewelry factories. So for that, what kind of course are we going to offer in the school? So I feel like many of the schools should become a design thinking school. They should have a STEAM lab and incubation center. And that's precisely what we do at our school. And we also should encourage our children to be an entrepreneur. So why aren't we doing that? Why are we looking at everybody working for somebody else? So if you're going to make them as entrepreneur, so what are the various skills and concepts what we're going to teach? Are we looking at portions and curriculum, or are we looking at teaching concepts in classroom? And that is again a big question mark in many of the teachers' minds. They're saying, okay, if we're talking about concepts, and then what happens to the textbooks what we are using in schools? Are we not supposed to finish the entire textbook? Otherwise, the parents are going to question us. So there is going to be a big challenge when you're talking about 22nd century skills, because we're already going to be overcoming this 21st century skills. So we are looking at putting them in real life situations. We're talking about social impact projects. So if we're not going to put them in community and community outreach programs, we're not going to teach them financial literacy in the real life situations. If you're going to teach them biology, why not in a biodiversity park in a school, or a butterfly park creating in a school, and teach them there so they understand what is cross-pollination. But we're not looking at that. We are again looking at teaching all the things in the classroom. I remember way back when I was reading a book by Abdul Kalam ji, and he said that Wings on Fire, I'm talking about, he said, don't teach the children that birds fly like this. If you want to teach the birds fly, take them outside and show them the birds fly like this. And that's where nothing but mechanism, it happens. So we're talking about coding, we're talking about machine learning, we're talking about environment related. So these are the kind of jobs which is going to be available in the market tomorrow. So why not we integrate all this within the curriculum and make it more comprehensive for children to learn and teach. This is what we're going to do. Andragogy, pedagogy goes hand in hand. Training of teachers is a must. Teachers again belong to traditional teaching in the classroom. From there, we need to come out and make them more, teach them collaborative. And that's where it's going to make a difference. So if we have to make a difference in the education, don't talk about just innovation, but talk about innovative andragogy. And that's very important. Apart from all this, if you're going to let the children explore the way they want to do it, and that's the best way of doing it, instead of imploring and, implementing that and telling the children, this is the way they have to do. And that's where the design thinking is very important. Apart from that, that hands-on and the real life situation can also happen when you're going to take them to industries and give them industry exposure. In fact, the National Education Policy, NEP, talks about taking a year break. Why do they talk about taking a year break? Because they wanted children to explore that in the industries and intern. So they understand that this is a career what we meant for, and not just take a random career and suffer later. And then in the internship, they can always understand, okay, this is not going to work for me, so let me explore something else. And that is very important. So I really appreciate the National Education Policy, which is coming up to be implemented in 2025. And if it's really seriously taken, I think it's going to be the best thing for the children. So let's all look at a different kind of, the pedagogy and andragogy, as well as the way we're going to implement it. And if we all are going to make a difference, I think we will have a different kind of education system imparted by the entire education fraternity. So thank you so much.